In reading today, we're going to start a new skill, but it's not a brand new skill. This is a skill that you have talked about in first and second grade. But in third grade, we take it to the next level as we study fiction text. So today, we're going to begin by looking at our success criteria. Today, our skill is I can describe characters by their traits, motivations, and feelings using text evidence. We all know that we can describe characters, but in third grade, we really want to focus on the word traits, motivations, and feelings. That's what we're going to be learning in third grade as we study characters. We're going to begin with reviewing what are characters. We're going to watch this video together. You are looking and listening with your eyes, ears, and brain. All right, you are looking and listening and thinking about what are characters in a fiction text.
You know, there's a lot of characters in books, TV shows, movies. Let me introduce you to
I'm a character in a book. I drop the action, take a good look. Characters can be human, yeah, or we could be sharks. And I don't mean West Side Story. Characters
Descriptive adjectives that tell you what we're like. Kayla is clever with her quick wit. Lewis is a loyal lad I like to roll with. Sometimes narrators tell you directly what we're like. You get me? Like the lion is cowardly. Hello? Most writers don't tell though, they show. That means they'll tell you indirectly through our words, actions, and thoughts too. And how other characters react to us. Make inferences based on everything above.
I'm just a character, I'm in a book. I have traits, and you can figure them out if you take a little extra look. Come on! I'm a character, and if you want to know my traits, look at the text and analyze what I think, what I do, what I feel, what I say, the way I'm treated and described. I'm a character, and if you want to know my traits, look at the text and analyze what I think, what I do, what I feel, what I say, the way I'm treated and described.
Yo, I just read a book, it was fabulous. Here's how I do character analysis. I read a story about Greta, and she's sneaky, untrustworthy, dishonest. Believe me, how do I know this about Greta? It's easy. I use evidence from the text I'm reading, so I analyze. What does she do? Well, she once broke her sister's phone after school. Did she confess? Nah, she lied. She said it was already cracked when I came inside. What are her thoughts? Well, the author describes her mind and what's going on inside. It's not that she's full of hate, but she tries to control people and manipulate them. Like, take this quotation. Greta thought she could trick her friend Jason into doing her homework on vacation. How do others react to Greta? Well, when Jason knew he was being used, he stopped walking with Greta after school. Sue Ping got tricked by Greta too. Now she's hanging out with a new crew, to the loop. Based on all this evidence, it's clear to me that Greta's untrustworthy and sneaky.
I'm a character, and if you want to know my traits, look at the text and analyze what I think, what I do, what I feel, what I say, the way I'm treated and described. I'm a character, and if you want to know my traits, look at the text and analyze what I think, what I do, what I feel, what I say, the way I'm treated and described.
That's so funny. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was the quickest video.
So we have learned all about characters in first and second grade. And this year, we're going to continue studying our knowledge of characters as we look at fiction texts. We're going to talk about their traits. Please join me on Seesaw. We're going to find our task together. Please click on Activities. Assign to Class folder. Red, E-L-A. Our task today is called physical and character traits. You may open up your task. Our next video is going to describe the difference between outside traits and inside traits. So you may open up your task. I'm going to push play on this next video. I want you thinking about what is the difference between physical, outside traits, and character, inside traits. Here we go.
Today we are going to talk about character traits. Now there are two types of character traits. We have physical traits and personality traits. Most of the time when you hear people talk about character traits, they're usually talking about the personality traits. These are the traits that are on the inside. They're how the person feels, how they think, how they act. They're what we learn based on what the character says, does, thinks, and feels. Physical traits are on the outside. They're what you see with your eyes. For example, this person has brown hair, blue eyes, a tank top, blue shorts, tennis shoes, and tan skin. There is a person behind this blue box. And if I were to ask you to give me 3 physical traits, you obviously would not be able to because you have to be able to see that person in order to give the physical traits. Because remember, the physical traits are what you see on the outside. So, who do you think is behind the blue box? It's me, Mr. McKinney. You can see that I have brown hair. That's one physical trait. You can also see that in this picture, I'm wearing glasses. And if you saw me in person, you would see that I have green eyes. Now let's think of 3 character traits. Remember, these ones refer to my personality. They can also be called personality traits. Remember, these ones are on the inside. They're how we think, act, and feel. Let's use this chart to help us think of some character traits about Mr. McKinney. Let's look in the nice category. We could say Mr. McKinney is nice, but I want to look for some more specific words and better words than just nice. We could say Mr. McKinney is bright, cheerful, caring, charming, considerate. All these things are so true, aren't they? Let's go with friendly. I like to think I'm friendly. Unless you eat the last bit of ice cream, then maybe I'm not so friendly. Let's look for some more character traits. Now, not all character traits have to be good. Some of them could be sad, they could be negative. For example, sometimes I get a little anxious about coming to work or about a big test. Another example would be that I might feel down sometimes. If something sad happened or if there's sad things going on in the world, I might feel a little sad or down or gloomy. But for this activity, I want to choose character traits that refer to how I feel most of the time. I think if I look down here where it says does a lot, I think I'm pretty active. In other words, I feel like I'm busy quite a bit. And let's pick one more. Let's go to the positive side and let's pick honest. I think it's very important to be honest. So there we go. We have 3 physical traits and we have 3 character traits referring to my personality.
All right, so Mr. McKinney taught us a little bit about the difference between outside traits which we call physical traits. But in 3rd grade, we don't want to talk about the outside physical traits as much. We want to focus on the inside traits called character traits. Mr. McKinney showed you a page. You have it on slide number 2. Here we have so many character traits. Let's look at some of these categories together. He already showed you how he was using it. So let's make some groups together. Get your highlight tool ready with me. And let's talk about what we see on our character traits notes. So he showed you the nice column. All of these words are traits that might go with somebody who you think is nice. We know that in 3rd grade, we want to use words that are creative, descriptive. If you just always say, oh, that's a nice person, we might want to think of a different word, like they're loving, they're encouraging, they are polite. These are words that describe somebody's inside traits, how they act, how they think, how they feel. Okay, the next category, I'm going to change to my green highlight tool. You see the word mean on top. All of these words under mean are character traits that are not very good. Look at some of those words. Words like rude, bossy, hateful. Those are not good character traits. And we know, as Mr. McKinney taught us, character traits are both good and bad things. We all have good things about us, things that we think, feel, say, and do. We also, all of us have bad things, negative character traits. Mr. McKinney was brave and he shared some of his. He said, sometimes I feel down or gloomy. He said, sometimes I feel anxious about going to work or taking a test, right? When I was a kid, I sometimes was bossy. I had a little brother and I thought it was fun to kind of boss him around, tell him what to do. That's not a very positive character trait about me, but we all have good and bad things, just like the characters we study in fiction books. There's good things about them and not so good things. Take a minute to look at the rest of this chart. I notice a sad category. On the right, I notice some positive words to describe someone and some negative words to describe someone. When we study characters in a text, there will be positive things about their actions, their thoughts, their words, and we can identify some negative things. The rest of the chart just has more categories for you to use. This is a tool for you to use as we describe character traits. All of the words on here are adjectives. They are describing words that we can use to describe someone's inside traits. Notice we don't see words on here describing people's physical outside traits. I don't see words like tall, short, light, dark, black hair, blonde hair. I don't see words like that because we are not going to be describing the outside, the physical. We're going to be looking inside. But today we're going to practice doing both so we can learn the difference. Okay? Go ahead and click on slide number 3, please. Slide number 3. Who here is familiar with Tigger? Yeah, Tigger is a character in shows, in movies, and books, and then they make toys with him. So let's start by describing our first character. Tigger is our first character, and we're going to say the difference between physical traits and character traits. Are you ready to do it with me?
No.
Let's look at the outside first. Look at the outside of Tigger. What are some of the words in the middle that describe his physical outside traits? Day, what's one? He has black eyes. That's something I can see. Physical traits are things you can see on somebody's outside. Kaylee. Orange. His skin, his fur coat is orange. Jillian.
You can see a tail.
He has a tail. That is a physical outside trait. Thank you. Nick.
That's one.
He has stripes. I can see that with my eyeballs. These are all outside physical traits. This is a first and second grade skill. But in third grade, we want to focus on inside traits. What are some of the words that describe his actions, his thoughts, his feelings, or what he says? Gloria. We might see from a movie or show that he is fun by what he does. Angela.
I noticed he is excited.
He acts excited. He might sound excited with his words. Have you ever heard Tigger talk? He acts very excited when he speaks. Dave.
Energy.
Yep. The root word is energy. This one says energetic. He has lots of energy, right? He's always bouncing around in the TV shows and movies. Maberly. And hyper. Hyper and energetic are almost synonyms. When somebody has lots of energy, you might say, you're being hyper, right? When kids go to PE with Mr. Beatty, they're so excited, they're bouncing in the hall, they're acting hyper. Those are synonyms. Great job. Today, we're going to continue sorting physical traits, outside, and character traits. Yes, Kaylee. Go to slide number 4. Slide number 4, I want you to start sorting. What are the physical traits you can see about our character named Winnie the Pooh? And what are the character traits that describe his thoughts, what he says, his actions, or his feelings? Take a minute to sort these two categories. All right, I'm going to start sorting these. You check your work. Let's start with physical. Physical traits are outside traits. He has a yellow body.
Yeah, that was the thing I put.
Whoops. I can grab it here.
That's the first thing I put.
Good. He has small ears. He has a black nose. All of these I can just see by looking at his picture. I don't even have to read a story about Winnie the Pooh to see these physical traits. I just need to see a picture. He has a red shirt on.
Wow.
In order to understand character trait, you have to have text evidence. If we watch a movie or read a book, we might see that he acts friendly. Winnie the Pooh often talks about being hungry. He's always talking about being hungry. What characters say is evidence for their character traits. He also shows with his words and actions that he is caring. He cares about the other people in the 100-acre woods. Great job. Let's go on to number 5. Number 5. Now we have the character Rabbit. Who knows Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh?
I don't remember his name.
His name is, he just goes by Rabbit. Yep, that's his name. I want you to sort into physical traits and character traits.
I know all of these.
What can you see? What's physical is outside. What's inside? What does he think about? What does he say? What does he feel? What do his actions show? Take a minute to sort.
Mom, I hate this.
Organized. Somebody who is organized. All right, I'm ready for 3rd graders to start sharing out. You will raise your hand. When I call on you, you will read the word and tell me, is it a physical trait or character trait? Physical is outside, character is inside with thoughts, feelings, actions, words. Maberly, when you act annoyed with other people, annoyed is kind of like, I don't want to deal with this person, right? You might roll your eyes, you might sigh. Annoyed, you show your actions and your words, you show in your face. That's a character trait. Jillian.
Are we doing character traits, or can we do the personality one too?
Either one. What do you have? Which side does it go? Can you share out, please?
The ears goes to personality traits.
Good. And this over here is called physical. Can you say physical?
Physical.
Yeah. Physical trait is outside traits, right? We see he has big ears. Nice job, Jillian. Who else? Angela.
Baby goes to
Good job trying. Busy is how we act. He's moving around. He shows with his actions. Busy is a character trait. He does a lot of things. Alicia. A short tail is something I can see just by looking at him. It's an outside physical trait. Got a couple more. Who's got them? Maberly? Organize. You can see by people's actions if they're organized. Do they keep things neat and clean? Or do they not care, right? If you look around the room, you might see some students prefer to be organized with their desk. Some students, it doesn't really matter to them. They don't care if they have lots of papers in their desk. We all have different character traits. And this last one, does anyone know this word? It's a hard one, Nick. Good guess. This is called reliable. What does reliable mean? Day with the definition. You can count on something, right? Most of the time, if you keep your promises, if you always do the same thing, you are reliable. So Rabbit, with the way he treats others, you always know what Rabbit's going to say. You always know what Rabbit's going to do. He's reliable. There's not many surprises with Rabbit. Awesome work. The next two slides, 6 and 7, are 2 more characters. I want you to take a couple minutes to sort the physical traits and the character traits. If you get stuck on a word, if you're not sure if a word is a character trait, you could go back to slide number 2 and look to see if you see it on here. If you're stuck and you're not sure, you can go back to our notes page to use our tool to see, does it describe somebody's thoughts, feelings, words, or actions? Do slides 6 and 7. You've got 3 minutes. You may go. 2, ready, and 1. We're going to go ahead and talk about what your independent work is today. Today, you're going to keep studying character traits, inside traits, as you tell me the difference between physical traits and character traits. On slide 8, you have some links to explore these characters a little bit more. Some of us know a lot about these characters. Some of us want to watch the video to see how they act, how they feel, how they think, how they speak. Today, you're going to start on slide 8 and watch these videos. And your job is to think about which one is the most like you. Then on slide 9, you will answer the question, which character is the most similar to you and why? You will give 2 character traits to explain why you are the same. Angela, push pause. We're still listening to hear what our task is. Then on slide number 10, you will take a picture of yourself, like Mr. McKinney did, and you will list 3 physical traits and 3 character traits, just like Mr. McKinney did. You will use your character traits notes on slide number 11 to choose some really good describing words. 3rd grade describing words for character traits, inside traits. You may begin on slide number 8. And then this is the rest of your task. I'm going to go ahead and end our Zoom. I will be on at 10:30 for math today. See you at 10:30.